I live for drugs. It's great. It's great. I live for drugs. It's great. It's great. I freaked out very, very badly. I freaked out on acid. I live for drugs. It's great. It's great. I'm the white rabbit.
Joan. Attention. I'm gonna find her. I'm gonna kill her.
Why, hello everyone. It is I, your pal, J.Ishiro, author and alien in a human suit, and it's my face. Do you like my face? Do you like seeing my face? Do you want to see more of my face? Do you give a shit? Speaking of which, buy my books, damn it. I don't advertise them enough. But more importantly, why haven't you written a review of Boobs of Steel yet? Honestly, I know a lot of you have read it. I know a lot of you love it. There needs to be more than 15 reviews on the Amazon page, goddammit. I'm expecting and counting on you. You know, it really hurts my feelings when you don't review my books, you know. It's just, fuck it. I don't know where I'm going with this. Anyway, I got a pretty mouth, Kat says. Well, you ought to know. Yo, it's an Asian. You got Kung Pao chicken on sale. I'll take 2 orders, please. Only half. The other half is Irish, so you're going to want a potato and Guinness along with that, right? All right, so how is everyone this Friday? You got anything you want me to talk about? I mean, it's been a while since I've done one of these alone. I mean, we can talk about tatas. We can talk about other stuff. I mean, there seems to be plenty of going on. You can always take me down my usual paths of UFOs, comics creation, philosophy, and religion for some strange reason. Keep coming back to that. Always a fun topic. But, you know, I've kind of got a standing agreement with Teweldy at this point. I've said that I will change my stance on atheism. I will abandon my atheism if Klaus Schwab dies by lightning strike, or maybe someone equally as awful, like say Bill Gates. Although, you know, really, if God's going to strike Bill Gates down, I think it should be something a bit more like, I don't know, what was it? What were the plagues? The boils and sores? I don't remember. It's been a while since I've read that one. But yeah, I think he needs this. You know, he deserves the 7 plagues. So, you know, that would definitely be convincing. Bro, Irish, I'll take 2 beers with that. Your boy needs them after the last Armored Core. Oh, cool. You're playing Armored Core. Is it good? Yeah, I thought you knew. Yeah, I'm a half-oo. Half Japanese, half Black Irish. So you get me. It's been interesting. I don't know. I think we mentioned it. Kat and I have been building Gundams, which is kind of fun. I'm building my first master grade. I'm not really, you know, this is kind of a crime that I have not read much, or not read. I haven't watched any Gundam other than Gundam Wing with Kat. So I don't know a whole hell of a lot about the series. Although it's clear that I need to watch at least 3 of them. And that would be, what is it? 0800, the Mercenary Corps. That it's basically Gundam and Gundam's version of Vietnam, the prequel, and then the main series. Those 3 I absolutely need to see. But yeah, I'll show you the one I'm building right now. Not thrilled with the paint job, so I'm going to give it a different style of paint. But let's see. I think that's it. Yeah, that's the one I'm currently building, and I'm not really feeling the slight green tone on it, so I'm kind of giving it a black, white, and red paint scheme. And I don't know if I'm going to make it look all damaged or if I'm just going to keep it like pristine out of the factory look. But I'll share it with you once. There you go. Gundam 79, Gundam 80, and Zeta Gundam. Okay, yeah, those are the ones I want to see. Absolutely. Everybody talks about G Gundam. I think G Gundam is worth seeing just for the pure insanity. Everything I've seen about G Gundam looks great. Definitely a departure from the very serious nature of the show. Oh, cool. So you approve of me building a Jigen. I don't know. I liked the design. I've already picked out what I'd like to build next after that. I mean, it's still kind of a learning process. Um, oh, what's it called? See, you guys probably already know, so you're already probably screaming that I've got inaccuracies in my descriptions here. Let's see. Going down the list. Yeah, after I build this one, I really would like to do a master grade Jesta, because I like that design even more. And then possibly, again, know nothing about it, but the Infinite Justice Gundam, I think I could do a cool paint job on that one. So those have caught my eye. If you've got any recommendations, what you think I should build, let me know. You know, I would build Macross models because I am very big on Macross. I mean, it's one of my all-time favorites. I've got multiple Valkyries around the office here, my office. But I don't know. The sheer complexity of those model kits and the amount of decals and all that you need to put on those, it's a little daunting. I mean, in my youth, I did build a Valkyrie once when the model kits were still available because of Robotech. Oh my God, it was way beyond my skill level. I mean, the thing required screws and hinge joints, and it required a screwdriver and a hex wrench to build, and it broke very, very easily. So I'm kind of a little daunted by that. I'm not sure I really want to dive into that yet. Master Grade Versago. Oh, that's not a bad idea, Kat. That's one of your favorites. Grays are really good. Leos. Getter Robo. Okay. Ares is my favorite wingsuit. Love its half-flight jet style. Which one was the one from Gundam that I liked, Kat, other than Death Scythe and Heavy Arms? I have a resin kit of the Ares, but there was never a high grade. Oh no, not Sandrock. It was was it the Taurus? Yeah, the one that flies. Yeah, I wanted to build a Taurus, but I don't know if we could find a kit or if it was just ridiculously expensive. I don't know why they're so hard to find. Is it Noi? I don't know. I barely watched Gundam Wing. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But hopefully I'll correct that. And I forgot the one Kat's building, but she got herself a master grade as well that looks pretty damn impressive. All right, give me a topic. Give me a topic. Mazinger. I would like to build a Mazinger. Get a Robo, the most Batman mech since Big O. Oh, where's Kat? Kat is currently working because she's not only an editor, but she has another job. She doesn't get to do it. I get to write full time. So, but she has the stable income. Master grade Banshee. That's the one you got. Yeah. Otherwise, Kat would be here. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, what do you guys want to talk about? I mean, there's got to be something interesting. I mean, it doesn't even have to be serious. You just get me on a rant. But, you know, it's been a while since I've done one of these. So I thought, why the fuck not? Just kind of pop in and say hello. How are you guys? What have you guys been up to? Let's see. I want to fight Brie Larson at a Home Depot parking lot. Unrelated, but are you going to talk about the Marvels? It's more of a why. I mean, it's like I don't really see the point. Let's see. What can I say about the Marvels? Once again, Marvel continues to slide deeper and deeper into the hole of failure. Hey, buy my books; they're better. I mean, there's any number of things you could be reading. Why waste your eyes, your brain cells, any of that shit to something so low quality and garbage that, like the Marvel, I don't. It's like these people who keep going back to Star Wars. Why? Why? Do you just like disappointment? You only have so many hours in your life, so many days, so many years. Do you really want to be on your deathbed thinking, oh, geez, I must have spent maybe 4 or 5 years of my life just waiting for one of those Star Wars shows to be good? I don't. I mean, I would much rather you guys be spending your time or money on something good. I mean, I realize there aren't a lot of good films coming out in this country anymore. I mean, there are few and far between indie films that are decent. But yeah, same thing. Comics, why not? It may cost a little more money and some hunting, but read indie comics that are good. Read novels that are written by authors who don't hate you. I mean, I am so sick of this obsession with Marvel and DC and Star Wars and Star Trek. I don't know. How many times can you willingly be kicked in the nuts and then come back to complain about it? When I don't know. Anyway, the Starfield issue, I disagree with Raltz. I have no opinion on Starfield because I have not played it, haven't seen it, have no interest in it. The Hispanic Panic versus Marvel's Sloppy Seconds. Give me some context there. Okay. Oh, you're moving, William? Can you say where to, or can you not? Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. A book a lot of hippies read, and now they think they understand Zen. That's my take on it. I baked cookies and made homemade insecticide, garlic powder, chili powder, dish and soap water. Smells awful enough to be a vampire pesticide. That's cool. And I bet you could put it in a bottle and use it on people too. I'm finding that I just can't care anymore about Marvel, DC, Disney, and all the woke crapola that's beyond saving. I just look forward to the new stuff that's going to be made. Good, I agree. Really, at this point, if we're going to talk about Marvel, DC, Disney, any of that shit, I would much prefer we stop talking about the garbage they're making and talk more about the horrible people they are and what they've been doing and why you really shouldn't be putting money into their pockets because what they do with that money. Especially in an election year. I mean, you give money to Disney, that's going into Joe Biden's campaign. I mean, fuck that guy. Seriously. I mean, we know half the board on Disney were all regulars at Epstein Island. Do you want to give these shitbags money? Seriously. And Marvel and DC, what did they do? Constantly shit on us. Fuck us in the ass. Constantly taking our money and dumping on us. Fuck these guys. They're not even worth complaining about their shit books. I'd rather just complain about the companies and about how they need to go down in flames. Okay. I have a problem with Bethesda removing beloved game features in their next game. Example, Skyrim getting dual wielding and having it dropped in... they need to stop tinkering with classic games. There's a reason they're classics, and it isn't because people went back and changed them. Scottish people are angry at voice-activated programs. Scottish people are generally angry, though. And I will say that when I spent a month in the UK, they're always going on about how hard it is to understand Northerners. Bullshit, no problem. Always going on about how it was hard to understand Irish brogues. Bullshit, no problem. The Scots I couldn't understand. I mean, seriously. The Scots, it was like, and I even asked my friend who was a Northern Brit, and he's like, I'm not sure what the fuck that woman said. So Yeah, I don't blame the voice activated program not being able to understand Scottish people. Okay. You versus Brie Larson. Well, Anime Acid Trip, I think what would be even better is if you said you wanted it in a Home Depot parking lot. Well, why don't we bump that up a bit and you get a monster truck and she gets a pair of running shoes? Make that a little more interesting? Oh, excellent. Eloise finally got around to ordering Boobs of Steel, also bought a copy of Utopiates and the physical copy of Titanium Rain. Where did you find that? It's a bit of a collector's item these days. Well, thank you for taking interest in my work. Let's see. As you'll notice in Boobs of Steel, by the way, on 1, 2, 3, 4, on page 4, inside cover, you are thanked, Eloise. Be a masochist to good, bad shit you can make fun of, not feel nauseated. Yeah, well, again, there's good, bad, and then there's just garbage. Okay. And even bad cinema can have, aesthetic and cultural value for entertainment or just a reflection of society or just whatever came vomiting out of some retard's brain. But the problem with this stuff that the major studios are producing is they don't even have that. They are so devoid of humanity at this point. There's so much just, planks of wood and NPCs walking around saying AI generated garbage. It doesn't even have any value in a sense of the reflection of ourselves or a commentary on who we are or what vomited out of somebody. No, it is just empty, inhuman shit. It's like the cinematic equivalent to what were those? It's a cinematic equivalent to swallowing Tide Pods. Why? Why would you do that to yourself? Sure, you want to laugh at other people who go and watch a Marvel movie because, my God, they're still falling for it, or my God, they're still punishing themselves. Sure, okay, it's like we laugh at the idiots who are going to eat Tide Pods. But don't do it yourself. I am turbo mad about their dumb, nonsensical explanation for how Earth was destroyed. Oh, is this in Starfield? Don't know anything about it. Sorry. Isn't half the book the main character having a mental breakdown? You know what? I couldn't tell you about Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance because I tried to read it. A bunch of boomers, more than one boomer, passed it off to me and said, well, now that you've graduated high school and you're going into college, this is a good book for you to read. And, I know about Zen. And I'm reading, it's like, fuck this shit. All right. Yeah, more, this is about as pretentious as Catcher in the Rye and just about as relevant. I don't care. I think it was another one of those boomer efforts to make it feel like they had substance in their lives. All right. Going through here. Disney's finally dying, I know, and it needs to die because it is a walking corpse. There's nothing of old Walt left in what Disney is. They speak Gaelic. Well, there are multiple types of Gaelic. So, I mean, there's the Gaelic that's the Irish one, and then there's Scots and Old Gaelic and how it evolved, and it's a dying language, unfortunately, and hopefully, just so we can continue to understand it, that tradition of keeping it living on will happen, because there are people still trying to keep the language alive just for being able to read it. Rewatching Babylon 5. Kat and I are rewatching Daria, and again, we've come to the conclusion that if you weren't Gen X, it's a little hard to understand. Kat and I are finding that it's even better from a distance. At the time the show was airing, it was so close to reality that it was funny, but at the same time, that was kind of normal life. So in a sense, it was a little seamless. Now looking back and saying, oh, that's how things were, we can kind of get a new perspective on how an outsider could look at this and just be utterly baffled or confused or not sure what's a joke and what isn't a joke. Brie Larson is in a new version of The Running Man. Well, shit, I hope she plays, what was his name? The fatty who shot lightning. Dynamo. I hope she's Dynamo, where she rides around in a go-kart and then electrocutes herself to death. Yes, old school film and television is far superior to modern, and there's so much to choose from, almost a century's worth. I made an intro to my Dom's new stream sequence. Will the real millennials please stand up? Yeah. I think the faction of millennials that aren't retarded need to get more vocal and just say, God damn it, that's not me. Don't associate these fucktards with me. Really, it is a damn shame that you guys are a minority, but you've been, I don't know, you already know, you're living it. The whole millennial experience is just got to be utter hell and pain for the ones of you who are sane or intelligent or who didn't fall into the woke cult shit. Okay. I used to think one of the main characters for a project I'm working on wearing purple was a dumb idea. But after looking at Galvatron in the OG Transformers movie, I'm into it. I thought Galvatron was a Chad. Galvatron was nuts. No, from what if I get it right, I think it's that purple represents royalty. So think about it. Oh, Fair Maiden got a copy of Titanium Rain from a third-party seller. Wow. Well, thank you for grabbing. There was at least 125 of them that was sold, and I don't think it went into reprint because of the legal issues. And basically, what it was I would not cooperate with the publisher until they paid me, and they just would not pay me for the 20,000 sold. And they were just complete dicks about it, and they were really, really mad, and were trying to get me back for the fact that even though they tried to screw me out of my money for the movie option, which they didn't have the right to sell, but they did it anyway, they didn't get any of that money, and it really pissed them off. And so that's why after the first 25,000, it never got printed again, and why book 2 never got printed. I got my copy of Titanium Rain years ago when it was more common, because I am smart. Gorgo has more cultural value than The Force Awakens. Well, no, there's actual cultural significance to Gorgo. Gorgo has an actual place in the cultural consciousness and says something about the history of the time. And it has Dorkin. Who needs drugs and tranquilizers? Or was that the journalist? I forget. You saw the last Super Mario movie. I didn't even know there was one. Oh, Wolf has been rewatching Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. Those were great. And could you believe that Warren Ellis and Gail Simone both wrote stories for it that didn't suck? That was back when they were actually talented. I'd rather watch Dracula boat movie. There's a Dracula boat? Is this like a vampire boat? The boat of the living dead? The boat of the night? What sweet music it makes? Is that a misspelling, or is there really a boat Dracula? I don't know. The only Gundams I've ever watched are the original and a compilation movie and Turn A. I don't know anything. Their explanation for why was it something Sky? Oh fuck! I already forgot the name of the game because I'm Starfield. The reason why in Starfield Earth is gone. Their explanation is that Earth's atmosphere just boiled off into space for some damn reason. I'm not that far into the game, but I doubt they have a better one given Bethesda. Yeah, well, that makes absolutely no sense. The atmosphere just sort of boiled off for some reason. Doesn't really work that way. Or to quote Rawls, that's not how that works. Cockney Godzilla. That'd be interesting. New Gamera? What's the New Gamera show? What did I think of Brave New World? I couldn't get through it all. I know what Huxley was getting at, and a lot of the points he made. I mean, essentially, it's interesting that that book's famous, and no one remembers H.G. Wells' Of Things to Come, because it was written as a rebuttal to H.G. Wells' dream of a communist technocracy that would rule the world and how great it would be. And so he wrote Brave New World as a rebuttal to it. And nobody remembers the crappy H.G. Wells Of Things to Come book. We just remember the movie. Anyway, the book itself, it's good. It makes a lot of good points. It didn't age as well as 1984. I think the biggest problem was that Huxley was not a storyteller. And so it suffers in that regard. I mean, the fact is, Orwell could tell a story. He was quite the storyteller. Huxley, not so much. And I think that's kind of the big flaw of it. So, in the fact that suddenly you switch main characters the moment John Savage shows up. And I know what he was getting at with Savage, but I think it was a little ham-fisted, and the whole thing about they had replaced God with Henry Ford was kind of silly. But really, it would have been made more sense if they had replaced God with Marx, but whatever. Okay. Would Toei Studios make a good adaptation of Philip K. Dick's Clans the Elfin Moons? Yes, I think they would. But my only hope is that they realize that the book's a comedy. I've read so many people who've written reviews who think the book is serious. It's not. So there's been lots of complaints about how the character is utterly obsessed with boobs and is constantly talking about boobs. It's like, the book is a comedy. The character is barely a hero. I mean, the book is about how basically two universal empires go to war, basically because this guy gets divorced with his wife and just sets off a chain of more and more implausible domino effects that eventually the universe is at war. And the fact that this guy has a mental breakdown at the very end, the whole thing's great. I've also read a lot of people claiming that it was insensitive to neurodivergent people. I'm like, shut the fuck up. But when the main character cracks near the end of the book is just hilarious. Michael Connor, I always got the impression Daria was a liberal, anti-conservative feminist bullshit. The advertising didn't do it any favors. Well, that's kind of interesting because does she have liberal views? Yes, but 90s liberalism, which bears no resemblance to modern liberalism. Is she, okay, let's see. But also, keep in mind that these days, a Clinton liberal is considered a far-right conservative. Just keep that in mind, first off. Second, no, that show lampoons feminism left and right. Does Daria make complaints about how women are treated and how we're judged by the way we look, and make commentaries about anorexia? Yes. At the same time, the show savages the shit out of second wave feminism, and they've got a teacher who is a parody of Gloria Steinem, or was it Naomi Wolf? I forget which, but there's a character who is this just man-hating cunt feminist and was out of her fucking mind. Also, there's an episode in which Daria is required to write a story for the school starts a coffee house, and she's required to go read a story, and they're so, you're such a good writer, you need to write a poem. So she finally decides, okay, I'll do it. And she writes this story that is this lurid tale about a female spy who's going out killing all these various communists and shooting them dead. And it was always a good day to murder a Bolshevik. And it causes the students to riot and try and burn down the communist embassy in town, not realizing there wasn't one. And the school's enraged by her communist sentiment or anti-communist sentiment. There was another one where they were making fun of the Barbizon modeling school, which was a scam in the 80s and 90s, for those of you know about it. And the school was letting Barbizon onto campus for profit. And so Daria decided she would use this logic against them, and by pretending to be the principal, invited a local militia group for recruiting to recruit students. Okay. Born in 87. Well, you see that the Gen X millennial thing, Gen Y, is so fucking confused, okay? Because one, the boomers just wanted to forget we existed. They really did not like us. And it seems only now, just now, are millennials noticing us, and it's not going well. Go figure. Let me find what I'm looking for. But theoretically, okay, there's no real hard dates on that, but theoretically, Gen X started in either 65 or 66, depending on how you want to do it. So supposedly the cutoff date between Gen X and Boomers was 1965. Now, theoretically, a generation is 25 years, okay? So if you do the math, let's see. Let's go in fives. 65, 70, 75, 80. Okay. 85, 90, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So really 65 to 90. So why is it they always make the cutoff date for Gen X 1983 or 1984? Because they really didn't want us to exist. And that's where that whole Gen Y thing came from. It's like, we're done with these kids. Here's the next batch. So really, in my mind, millennials started at 90. And yeah, okay, you could say Gen Y was a late Gen X, but really it was just the boomers trying to sweep us aside for the next batch of kids that were going to screw up. And I would say that the group that's tagged Gen Y, you got to escape Barney, so that's good. My younger sister's Gen Y, born in 1984, not quite Gen X, but still has more than a lick of common sense, but that's also because she was raised by our grandparents, like so many of us were. Really, I mean, I think the dividing line, and if you really want to talk, what's the difference between X and Y? And that was if you remember the ever-present horror of the nukes are going to fall at any moment. If you grew up with that constant fear that you were going to die tomorrow, or this could all be blown to ash tomorrow, you're Gen X. If you're I always thought Gen Y was, you're better adjusted than us. You were the late half. You escaped some of the worst aspects, so you're a little better equipped to deal with the world and less angry and bitter. You're better adjusted. You're not as mentally fucked up as we were. That was kind of what I saw it as, because Gen Y seemed a little more adept with technology, just a little bit more, and didn't seem nearly as emotionally damaged. But on the other hand, you guys had the same immunity like advertising, and you could see through bullshit a mile away. You were just less likely to kill yourself. Oh God, why do I find this funny? Last voyage of the what's it? I don't know what that. Apparently, there's giant sea vampires. Well, that's it. That's a great idea. Not sure why they'd be giant. I mean, what do they do? Drink whale blood? How many tattoos can a girl have before it becomes a red flag? Um, that is God. We're hitting the generational thing again. Acid trip. Tattoos meant something different when I was your age. One, when I was your age, tattoos were still kind of rebellious and edgy. Second, the kind of people that went all in and got covered with tattoos usually had to invest heavy cash into it, and they usually had the best tattoos, and there were usually the body mod community or people who were just kind of a bit off and wanted to turn their bodies into canvases. So, a girl with a lot of tattoos could either be immensely cool, no bullshit, um, just didn't have any of the hangups that a chick would have, or she could be an utter basket case train wreck who was compensating for something. So, Starborn is a thing. Don't know what that is. So that's kind of a hard call. I mean, I knew plenty of girls with like tons of tattoos that were fucking cool. Um, on the other hand, today it's such a hipster thing. Um, I don't know. It's almost like, look how different I am. I've got tattoos on my face. It's gotten to the point where shitty tattoos are a thing. Why? Why are you proud of this? Eh. So I can't really say. Really, I would say, as it is in the back in the day, it was if she had more than one bad tattoo, because most people back then, that first tattoo was a bad tattoo. It just was a thing. Either you did it to yourself, or you had your friend do it for you, um, or you didn't have much money and you got it done cheap. So that or you were young, stupid, and decided that you were going to tattoo something like your favorite show or band on your arm, and then later it turned out to be Green Day or something, and it's like, oh man, I regret that. No, I don't have any tattoos. And I did it specifically because I liked the idea that, well, if everyone was getting tattoos, I'll have virgin skin. I won't do it. Also, I don't have any piercings because even though I thought a cuff, would be kind of cool, well, everyone else is doing it. Fuck it. I won't. Maybe it was just being contrarian. So the red flag, in my opinion, would be is if she has more than one bad tattoo. That's the red flag. If a girl has bad tattoos, run. That's a sign that she is fucked up, especially if they're homemade tattoos or her friend did them. Trying to think. Also, if she's got really slutty, trashy tattoos right above her butt crack, because tramp stamps can look really classy, but other tramp stamps, if it's pretty much an advertisement of insert here, or dick goes here, yeah, you probably don't want her. Let's see. Other ones. If a girl has lots of black splotches on her arm that are obviously cover-ups, it means that girl has a lot of regrets in her life. Um, those could be something as simple as hiding a lot of dumb designs or bands that she put on her arm, or it could be boyfriends. That's one that you want to watch out for. If she's got more than one boyfriend name turned into flowers, no, don't. Okay? Everybody is entitled to making one stupid ass idea when you're young. Okay, well, I'm going to be with him for life. I'm going to have his name tattooed right between my tits. Okay, if you did that at 16, you're 16. You do stupid shit. So if a girl has that tattooed between her tits and she's turned it into flowers, fine. She got 4 or 5 of those, worry. But yeah, it's bad tattoos that are kind of the giveaway. On the other hand, if there's a girl with like lots and lots of really nice tattoos, she's probably not going to be into you if you don't have any, because it means she's part of that culture. I've seen some really beautiful tattoos. I've seen back-sized ones. It's all in, you know what? I can't say. I can't say for you, Acid Trip, because For your generation, tattoos are something entirely different. They're as common as getting, back in the day, it was every girl went to the mall and got her ears pierced. That was super common. Nowadays, tattoos are the same thing, and that just doesn't mean anything. Gamma rebirth. Okay, I'll have to look into that. So I'll take a look at that in a minute. Yeah, that new Godzilla film coming out of Japan, Godzilla Minus One, looks really, really good. And if any of you saw the live action Battleship Yamato film that came out in 2010, same director. So there's a good chance this is going to be a good film. The effects already look great. It was a horrifying book, and the first book I read in Canada also when I was studying. Didn't H.G. Wells also write an early time travel novel? You're kidding, right? The Time Machine? He coined the word. He coined the name Time Machine. 1984 was what Orwell lived through. Well, it was commentary on really Stalinist Russia to a degree, and exposing that communism sucks ass. Because Britain was full of vegetarian, free love, gender bending, communists. Yeah, that's the list. It was a long list. Britain has had its own problem with woke idiots for ages. John Noble Savage. At least try and hide it, Aldous. Yeah, well, you know what? I much prefer the name John Spartan. Godzilla minus zero, Kong times Godzilla times Kong, New Empire. That one may be good, may be bad. The last film, the one with Kong versus Godzilla, was okay. I mean, for a knockdown, drag out fight of a monster film, sure, it was great. But compared to the other MonsterVerse films, it was the weakest of them all, really, and kind of a letdown. Because they were really building towards a lot of lore, and it seemed like they just rushed through it. And it's the same director, so we'll see. Did you know they made an anime based on Treasure Island? Yes, and Peter Pan, and yeah, there's quite a few of them. Oh yeah, Douglas Adams absolutely read Clans of Alphean Moons. In fact, most of Hitchhiker's Guide are parodies of Golden Age sci-fi stories. It's interesting how many people don't know that. Just how much of the first two Douglas Adams books, Restaurant at the End of the Universe and The Hitchhiker's Guide, are parodies of actual. Well, the generator went down. I've got a solar battery that all my lighting's hooked up to. Yeah, it's interesting that how much people don't realize how much the Golden Age sci-fi was being parodied by Adams, and people thought Adams just had made it up. Like the whole thing about the Gaga Phrygians being sent to Earth, that was actually a direct parody of the Marching Morons. The thing about H.G. Wells' brand of globo-homo communism, it was built on the assumption that Anglos would run the one world government. Yeah, among other things. And it wasn't just Anglos, it was his group of friends. And he also called for, radical socialism. And he wanted free love as well. He also wanted to break down the idea of gender and gender roles, and he wanted basically a hookup culture. Well, he got it. Liberals get the bullet too quote from Dune. That's an old commie phrase. Yeah, we're watching the show, and I'm finding a lot of anti-commie stuff just in the background, which I find interesting. And there's a lot of really edgy shit that's in the background that either you couldn't see in the past because it was NTSC television, or yeah, and I'm now seeing in HD, but like on the chalkboard, there's one where it says chalkboard and it says CIA, Project Paperclip, Nazis, Jonestown, and then it goes up Soviet infiltrators. Yes, that was an Adaria episode. Okay. Whoa, I am way behind. Well, I've got to call it an evening, guys. As you can see, my solar generator went out. A little surprised, actually. Usually it doesn't burn out this quick, but maybe we didn't get no, we didn't get much sun today. Usually in the desert we get tons of sun and this doesn't happen, but it was overcast today. Dario is anti-communist mainly because in the 90s, communism itself was regarded as a boomer thing. And it was. And then they inflicted it upon the millennials who bought the lie. Don't know why. All right, everyone. I'm going to call it a night. I could keep going on. You guys have given me quite a bit to talk about here, but as I'm sitting in the dark here, I want to go eat dinner. So have a good evening.